Mrs. W's got the greenhouse planted up. You can see that. Have the tomatoes in there. Hello, Poppy, what are you doing with those chickens, dear? Playful dog she is.
She certainly is.
We also have some peppers in here. Now in today's video, those of you that have been eagle-eyed, you'll have seen that we've made something new in this garden. And in that something new, we're going to take a look at planting things like tomatoes, cucumbers, courgettes, all those things that we want to plant outside when you don't have undercover structures. Hello and welcome back to the No Dig Norfolk Gardener. That's a hello from Loopy Luna as well. She is our broody hen. She's not happy because Mrs. W has actually closed the door so she can't get in there. We would rather like 3 eggs a day. And as Frank said, we've given them a palace to live in. All we want is 3 eggs a day. Anyway, here is the new structure that we've built. And for those of you that have been following us for a while, you'll have last seen this actually in the old polytunnel where the chickens now reside. And we used to put all of our seedlings on it. But Mrs. W, as ever, has been resourceful and it's now turned into a new bed. A lot of you have asked me and asked us to talk about how to grow these types of plants outdoors. And today specifically we're going to be talking about the tomatoes. We have a red cherry. You've seen that in our greenhouse before, but it grows really well outside. Also the moneymaker that we've grown, that really grows well outside, and you will get lots of tomatoes on that. And then we have the gardener's delight, an old favourite but does perform really well outdoors as well as indoors. Lovely cherry tomatoes. Also in this bed we shall be planting in some courgettes. They are there. You can see they're now getting their second leaf.
I'm going to do a yellow and a green.
Yes, my favourite 2 colours, Mrs. W.
Good, good.
And then a lot of you have asked me about cucumbers. This is the variety Marketmore. This is the one that we favour. You can see they're germinating now. They won't go in today in this programme, but certainly within the next couple of weeks they'll be large enough to actually plant out. This is the structure. They'll be planted at the base. Mrs. W will run some strings along here. They will grow up the poles, over the top, down the strings, and believe you me, you'll have more cucumbers than you know what to do with. Also in here, we're going to be putting some flowers. I can see Mrs. W has some nasturtiums ready to go in.
Yeah.
Some cosmos.
Some zinnia.
Some zinnia.
And I think I'm going to pop in a couple of sunflowers as well.
And a couple of sunflowers.
Yeah, I think that would be quite pretty.
And if you just think about it, outside our greenhouse, we always have flowers just outside there. We have 2 little sort of borders either side of the door. And they are like a little flight path for the pollinators that come into our garden. They find their way there to the lavender and the what's the other little, the calendula, that's what it is, isn't it?
And there's a dill there as well,
dill there.
Flowers lovely.
Absolutely love it. And then that guides them into the greenhouse to do all the pollinating that we want. Now, of course, in front of our polytunnel, this is a brand new polytunnel that went up last August. we should be actually putting wood chip all around here once it's just delivered. And we won't have borders to be able to plant things into. That's why this has gone here, right in front of the doorway. They can come here, do their buzzing about and think, there are some more lovely plants just inside here. I'm talking about lovely plants, Mrs. W. I do fancy a strawberry. Ooh. They're still coming, folks.
I know they are, aren't they? Well, if you're going to have one, so am I.
I don't blame you. Aren't they
They're so
lovely?
delicious, aren't they? So we'd better get started with this planting up the bed.
We're going to start with a money maker, yes?
We are. And just as we did in the polytunnel and in the greenhouse, I'm just going to do the side shooting before we put it in.
Now, it is important when you plant these plants that they go in after your last frost date. If you know you're still going to be expecting frosts, then don't put them in yet.
This is the red cherry.
That is a gorgeous tomato, that red cherry, isn't it?
Yeah, they smell really tomatoey. So I'm giving about 18 inches in between. Nice and deep. Firm it in. This Gardener's Delight is a little bit, I did buy this on a reduced to Claire. It looks a little bit sorry for itself, but it will be fine. Nice root system.
And when you are planting your outdoor tomatoes, you want to find them a nice sunny place and quite sheltered too. What you don't want is them to be battered by cold winds.
I'm going to put a couple of the sunflowers towards the back here.
There's Loopy Luna. Not a happy girl.
No, she's not, is she? I've grown some zinnia. I think they were just a mixed variety. I've got 3 in there, so.
Rosie's going to have a look inside the poly.
So we've got 3 zinnias. I'm going to put a courgette in each of the front corners. This one is the green. Firm that in nicely. And we have a choice of the yellow. We've only got 2 green that germinated, but we've got about 6 of the yellows. So I'm going to pick the strongest plant, I think. One that's a nice one. Nice root system on there. I'll have the yellow one in there.
These are the Cosmos, Mrs. W?
And these are the Cosmos. I've just got about 3 together.
Yeah.
I think, I can't remember what variety they were, but I think they were seashell or something like that. Sort of a mixture of pinks and whites and purples. So hopefully they'll look quite pretty. And then just over the front here, I'm going to sow a few of these nasturtiums. Just give it all a good water.
What we didn't say at the beginning is, if you're wondering exactly how we made this bed, there is not a load of compost in there. We used the hugel culture to make this bed. In fact, a lot of our sprout stems and all from the winter plantings are all in there, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
Branches, leaves, all types of things, and probably just about that much compost on top. And if you want to see exactly how we did that, do go and look at our playlist of the Vegegar raised bed. We made a whole video how we used the hugel culture in that bed. We did exactly the same here. Do let us know your comments. Let us know. Have you put yours out yet? I think Peter told me that you put yours out a couple of weeks ago up there in Sheffield. I do hope they're doing well. And fingers crossed there are no really late frosts. I know that we're not forecast any. I've looked on the weather app and we've been frost free now really for the last couple of weeks, haven't we?
Yeah, we have, thankfully.
So,
yeah.
these plants can grow anytime after your last frost. But if you are unsure, the first week in June is always a good time. Don't expect the same yields that you'll get undercover. That's not going to happen. But if you have the space outside and you don't have places undercover to grow your tomatoes and cucumbers, just plant lots of them outside in any space that you can. They can go into flower borders. As you can see, we've made a bit of a flower border here.
Yeah.
They can go anywhere like that. In fact, it will help protect them from the winds that may come a bit later in the year. And you shall be enjoying your very own tasty, juicy tomatoes and cucumbers. Do have a great gardening week, won't you? And myself and Mrs. W, we shall see you all again on Sunday.